Sometimes I do wish that we could actually invite everyone that is here in chat as we are live here on Twitch over for a glass of wine or whatever we might be having. I think that would be super fun. But since we can't, and they kind of have to live vicariously through us,
right?
We just get to drink a little bit more.
There is more for us that way.
There is more for just the two of us to go around.
Although
and
they can find something similar maybe to what we're having
now
and go and open that bottle and join us.
They could do that. Now we've got this is a Syrah from Trader Joe's, correct?
Correct.
So there is a chance that they could find this.
True.
They could pause the video if they're watching an archive version.
Right.
It's
Run out right now.
Obviously not the live version. Pause it. Go run out. Maybe grab a bottle. Come back, and then it would be like they were sharing it with us.
It sure would be.
All right.
Just like that.
Why don't you try and do that? Let's give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Trader Joe's Reserve Syrah Wahluke Slope 2021.
Lot 237. Does that actually make a difference?
It means something to somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we were the ones that had picked it out, we're like, it's very important that you get 237.
237. Get that
236 was absolute trash, but 237 was the gold standard. The reserve line, though, does kind of usually denote a certain dollar amount, though, doesn't it? Like when you've talked about before, or no?
Of what they might
price.
be another, or the reserve line's always the same price.
Okay, so then
until that changes,
so
but
then
who
this
knows?
is around that $11, $10-$11 kind of thing. Then I'm assuming, as I'm guessing.
Am I
well, I've guessed now.
Yeah, it's $9.99.
Okay,
so $10.
Well, all of a sudden I realized as soon as I said reserve, I was like, okay, doesn't that give away the price?
Reserve, yes.
Okay.
Reserve. The reserve level is $9.99.
Reserve platinum and like the
Grand Reserve.
Okay.
Platinum, diamond.
Diamond. Is there anything above? There was something above diamond, isn't there? No?
Not yet.
No. Unobtainium.
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 That's it.
I knew it. So how did this come into your hands? Is this a fearless flyer kind of thing?
A flyer, which we usually like to make things easier on everybody to find the
it's
the
fine.
wine
You
itself.
can save me. It makes it easier.
And you, but it also benefits everyone. So there's more information out there. But this is a Syrah, organically grown Syrah, 96%, has a little Merlot in there as well. Obviously 4%. Do the math, 4%. Yeah. And it's grown in Washington. This slope is very famous and well known. We had a cab from this AVA last year that I'd never had, but I heard was very good. So that was when this did come in. I thought, okay, I love Syrah. Let's try one of these.
And there was another one in the flyer as well, too, wasn't there?
There is a cab and there is a Chardonnay also in the flyer.
Because I remember you mentioning kind of all three, but you're like, this is the one, the organic. I'm interested in this one.
Since it's still a little cool outside and it's always comfortable.
It's always
75 degrees in here.
It's always comfortable in the tasting room.
We can drink red wine. I can drink red wine. So
this is where you get all of your red wine drinking in year round. Is here. Okay.
The climate control.
A lot of dark fruit, and then I actually get like a little bit of like almost smoke in there too. There's something that's kind of like it's definitely not wood, but it's like it's more campfire. There's something very light campfire smoke at the very end of it.
Nice.
Underneath all that kind of dark fruit, like black currant, black cherry, like all more lower notes. Just kind of blended together, and a little bit of alcohol seems to come through. I saw it was 13.9%, which isn't
that's not too bad.
Yeah, which isn't like crazy hot for some of the stuff we see, but that seems to come through a little bit in the nose. We did just open it, but what are you getting out of this?
I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but yeah, there is a little bit of smokiness. But I actually get some raspberry, little raspberry jam, along with some dark cherry as well. A little something in there that's like a little higher note, makes me think of raspberry jam with the seeds.
With the seed, okay. So seeds. Dare you say a preserve? Maybe
maybe a preserve. Of course.
Right. Well, should we find out if that's preserved in the taste?
Sounds good.
Okay. I like the aroma a lot better. The taste, there's nothing really wrong in the taste. It's just for me, it is more about it's a little bit more of the cherry pop, like you talked about in the aroma. I'm getting more of that in the taste, like more of that kind of like bright, kind of like Bing cherry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting like Bing cherry, like maybe a little bit of raspberry kind of in the middle of my tongue, but that and a little bit of tart, and then it's kind of gone a little thin. For the most part, it's drying me out, like maybe a little bit tannic or something. Like it's a little, just kind of drying me out just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. There's no faults to it. But it's just kind of, to me, the aroma is much more interesting.
There's a little bit of alcohol on the finish. Just one of the sips I had, I picked up on that. Not overly so, but that it's very. It's oddly drinkable, yet it is a little dry.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It doesn't have all of those different notes coming together. It's just kind of that little bit of fruit and dry. I like it, but it's not like my first sip. I was like, ooh, and then afterward, I was kind of like, well, I guess it's not quite as exciting as I mean, there. Usually, if you like the first sip, usually then that builds. This was kind of like that first sip was the high point, and then I was like, yeah, it's good, it's drinkable.
Yeah, so. I would agree. It's completely drinkable.
Completely drinkable. Yeah.
we're not about to get sick.
No.
If you want to find some of the other wines that have been in either past Fearless Flyers that darn you missed out on them, or know what's coming out in the future when it comes to wine or whiskey or anything else, you can head on over to our website at AboutBeverages.com. That is a great place to go for everything we've done for over a decade now. And I believe for the most part, when we've gone back and listened to it, we stood by most of it. Every once in a while, you can tell, like, well, our palate was a little different back then. But for the most part, everything is still completely solid. If you want only the latest videos, YouTube is always a good subscribe. You'll always know when things go live there because you can get a notification, get a little email that says, hey, they put something up. And you go, oh, let me go watch that.
Yeah, let's check it out.
You can totally go do that. And we would appreciate it. It is very, very nice. A nice way to support the channel for absolutely free. And on top of that, if you only want audio as well, we've got you covered. Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes. If you have a favorite podcasting app, search for About Beverages. We very well might be there. As well as some other places across the internets, as the kids say.
The social media.
They also call it that
things.
Too.
The social media platforms, the pillars, as we refer to them, which for us are TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, which is the one that we use most often to keep you up to date on what is going on here at About Beverages. Like earlier this evening when I tweeted we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings. Sometime in the late afternoon, depending on where, but never at 7:30 Eastern. Let's go with that.
That's the one I
base
always
it
like
off
doing.
of that one. That seems to be the
close.
most universal. For us, it's 4:30 or 5:30, depending on the time of the year. But so we get together with everybody, try some different beverages, hang out, and just talk about stuff. Talk about life, talk about music, food, all kinds of fun things. Also, throughout the week, Andrew will keep you up to date on what he's going to be doing in the gaming world and what he's going to be drinking while he is doing that. So for all the latest at About Beverages, follow us on Twitter.
But, as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you maybe should give it a shot.